extend it into some kind of skirt cover kind of vibe. Anyway, yeah, and if I will try to remember to leave links to the patterns that I used in the description, because I'm not yet skilled enough to like make patterns up on my own. Anyway, so this nice lacy thing, I'm quite enjoying, like when I do crochet projects at the moment, like lacy things or like stuff with gaps in. I don't know, I think it's fun and you can make cool interesting shapes, and it's exciting for the prospect of layering and things like that. Anyway, and this is the first time I've actually done beadwork, and it was like, I feel like it's one of those things that seems really intimidating and daunting, but it was actually not too bad. Obviously it's relatively simple use of beads, but I don't know, it's another thing that you can just like add to stuff, isn't it, once you've done it a couple times. Okay, next is this like Jester Hat I made. Again, I will link the pattern below. It's kind of like a bonnet, but it's also just a hat. I'm like kind of getting into sewing, and I do want to sew like a more traditional looking Jester Hat. Oh yeah, that sounds good. But yeah, I love this. I do like the dangly things on the end. However, I think if I ever were to wear this in a costume or something, I would take them off just because they're quite hazardous, and I have accidentally like hit someone in the face. So yeah. Oh, the jingle. These were just like necklaces that I had that I wasn't really wearing as necklaces. Anyway, yeah, this was fun to make. I think it was a bit frustrating at the time because I had to undo and redo the top to get it just the right size, because I have quite a tiny head. But I'm very happy with how it came out. And yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about like creating a character or something who is kind of like a jester. I have other things that are semi-related to that, but I don't know. I think creating things that I don't necessarily wear, but that are like part of a costume or something, that isn't yet complete, and who knows if it will ever be complete, or if I'll be brave enough to wear it. But like, I don't know, it gives me ideas in that sense too, like just making random things that I think look cool. I'm in a band and I do want to make like some sort of costume piece to wear when we're on stage. I think because it's so often really hot on stage, and especially recently we had a gig the other week when there was still a heat wave and it was like 38 degrees outside. Thankfully there was aircon in the room, but it was still really hot. So I think for me it's like there's a consideration of it would have to be something that's not super it's like semi-stuffed at the moment. Also, warning, this is a little bit haunting. I made my own version of the mask, and yeah, it's a good prototype. I think if I was doing it again, I would definitely make it bigger because it like doesn't fit me how I want it to. It's a bit too snug on my head, and I have a tiny head. So yeah, I think I want to use this as like a prop in a video or something. And I do think also if I made it again, I want to try and figure out a way to give it more spikes. Anyway, I should name him. He doesn't have a name yet. I can't think of any on the spot. But yeah, anyway, I've been thinking, I'm quite interested in masks at the moment. Making them. I have 2 that are complete and I'm working on another one. I don't know, I just think like conceptually they're interesting. I don't know what sounds good. This might sound good. Yeah, this is like really ridiculous because I was just using some random scraps of yarn that I had. And I had like this pink, I like used two different yarns. It's definitely like a bit creepy and a bit weird and spooky. But yeah, I don't know. I want to try and see if I can use it for something. Even if I don't end up wearing it. I do really like the nose. I like big noses on a mask. I think that's cool and interesting. I do want to eventually maybe make like some animal masks. I think that would be fun. Yeah, anyway, here's the pointy boy. I think he looks a bit like fantasy kind of. Not an elf, but you know, who are the ones that have hats? Gnomes. Like a creepy gnome, or like, I don't know, even some kind of creepy jester dude, to be honest. Yeah, also jesters I am apparently quite drawn to at the moment. As characters. The theme continues with my second mask that is sort of complete. This one is also a bit creepy, so apologies. But if you're into that, then okay. You have to excuse the hairpin. I haven't attached the hairpiece to the front properly. Anyway, yes, this is Crumble. She does have a name. Her name is Crumble. And she's very sad. Yeah, she's had like not a great day. You know, she's just trying to get by, and she had some very mean encounters. I don't know what her backstory is just yet, but she's very sad, as you can see. I am on a mask making thing, apparently, and I wanted to make some kind of clown mask. Yeah, I enjoyed making this. The way that I did it was like I put cling film over my face, or I put Vaseline and then I put cling film, and then I like paper mache'd a layer. You can see I haven't painted the inside. I paper mache'd a layer on the inside, leaving like nose holes. And then I like built up several layers after that was dry enough to take off. Yeah, then I let that dry, and then I used again, this isn't super functional because I would have to take my glasses off and I don't have any contact lenses, so I wouldn't be able to see, and the eye holes are also quite small. Yeah, I'm happy with how this came out. I'm like not super experienced with like art materials and like painting and stuff, but I really enjoyed doing this because like I haven't done like hands-on crafts like this that isn't textile stuff in a long time. So this was a lot of fun and I really enjoyed making her. And yeah, apologies if she's a bit creepy, but I love her. I think she's just a bit sad. Maybe she wants a hug. I am working on a third mask. I currently only have the eyes. I very much do not know what this one is going to look like. I'm sort of just winging it and like making pieces and then seeing how they fit together. But I recently, this year, got into like foraged weaving. So I've made several things. This mask, well, eventually what will be a mask, but these are very early sort of versions of pots, little tiny baskets that I made, and these are made from dandelion stems. There's a creator who I followed who I got like the information and stuff from, and I'll link their channel down below. This one also has a little bit of willow bark on the base. But basically, yeah, so these are dandelion stems, and I've really been enjoying, I made this little tiny backpack as well, with little straps. I don't know if I'll make a doll. I could make a doll. You can wear this. But yeah, I've really been enjoying, and it's got all my lovely feathers in, sorry. This magpie one is very lovely in the light there. Yeah, I've really been enjoying foraging materials, drying them, and then weaving with them. There's something really, I don't know, I'm just loving it a lot. There's something about the connection with the seasonality of everything too, because obviously like the dandelion stems were only like super long for like a few weeks. I want to say it was end of April, early May. Yeah, and I've stripped some willow, which is only, you can only like easily strip the bark in spring and summer. I don't know, I think it's also given me like an appreciation for just like the amount of like natural materials that you can actually like make stuff with, which is really cool. Yeah, I've been really enjoying that, and I'm looking forward to gathering other stuff as the year goes. I think in like late summer, the marsh grass, which is called jungus, I think, you can also use that, and I want to try using that at some point. I also do want to try using nettle and maybe bramble at some point. But yeah, these are definitely not neat. I would encourage you to go and check out Foraged Fibers because they make such pretty like baskets and like little pouches like this that are much more expertly done than mine. This is like very much still like first attempt stuff for me. But yeah, I love it, and I think the colours are great, and also it smells really nice. So yeah, these are my 2 eye sockets for a mask that is in the process of being made. Finally, I'm very excited to introduce you to Nona. Sorry, I still get very excited about her. This is Nona, named after But yeah, I really admire people who make crochet patterns, because the amount of work it must take to like not only make something like one time, right? These people like have to refine their patterns and try stuff out, and I think I just get so frustrated with unraveling and like redoing things. Maybe I would get to a point, maybe I could get to a point where I'd be happy to do that if that was like the purpose. But I think sometimes I just want to make something and like have it. Anyway, yeah, so very grateful for everyone who makes patterns. That allows me to make things, because I don't think I have the patience for it. I'll show you the underside as well. I can talk you a bit about the construction method. Basically, what do? You do the arms first, and there's a hole in the middle, and you construct the arms in like a big, really long round. And then once you have that, I don't really remember, you build up this part, but also the inside. The head dome was done separately, and then crocheted in with the eye holes. And I also bought, which you can't really see because the pupils are huge, but I bought these resin painted eyes from Etsy, and if I can find the shop, I will put again in the description. And then also the underside, you had to crochet like this bottom section, and then individually do every single sucker. And that was the kicker. There was an option to make it without that, but I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm here for the full experience. And yeah, so I crocheted, I think it was like 256 individual suckers that I crocheted, and then crocheted into the bottom panel. But yeah, as frustrating as I do sometimes find, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot about the little funnel part. I don't know what that actually does on a real octopus, but it's here. Yeah, as frustrated as I can sometimes get when I'm making something and it's like I make a mistake and I have to like frog it, it's always nice to have the end product, isn't it? And I am very proud of this. I love her a lot. Yeah, I think one thing I struggle with crochet is when you show people what you've made, people are like, oh, could you make one for me? And like semi-jesting, but sometimes they're like serious, and I'm like, I feel like because of the amount of time it takes, it would have to be a project that I enjoyed and wanted to do for somebody. I think I'd rather just make things for friends and people that I know. Enjoy her in all her glory. I did have an idea after I made this that I could make maybe like a giant octopus head mask with like tentacles that come out of your shoulders and stuff. I think that would be really, really, really cool. Who knows if I'll ever get around to doing that. It'd probably take me so long. But maybe one day. Give her some head scratches, eh? Little bit of head scratching. Your nails catching. us both. Thank you so much for watching this video. Nona is very pleased to have made your